Hi, and welcome to the Sports Report here on JCTV. I'm Matt Keeney, and today we are visiting with head baseball coach here at Jefferson College, Sam Carel.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Great, thanks.
Well, thanks so much for coming in. The 2009 season is underway as we speak, and let's just recap some of the numbers from last year. You're coming off a good year in 2008, a 35-20 overall record, second consecutive conference championship. You have 12 overall here. Our Jefferson College has 12 overall in the baseball program. And there was the Region 16 runner-up finish. So I guess with those numbers out there for last year, a pretty good year, what do you have in store for this year? What are your goals, I guess, going into the season?
Well, Matt, the goals never change. I mean, each year we want to come out, we want to win 40 games. We want to win the league, win the region, and have an opportunity to compete for a title out in Colorado. So the goals don't change. The personnel may change. Well, it will change, obviously, from year to year, especially this year. We have so many new faces. But the goals stay the same. Coaching staff is pretty similar. We try to keep some camaraderie or commonalities, I guess, if you will, throughout. And but yeah, everything stays the same.
Why don't we go ahead and talk about the team's the first road trip of the year? It was in mid-February, and you took a trip out to Kansas and Arkansas. So can you kind of tell us how that went?
Well, we ended up, we first started off going to Cali County. They won the national title twice back in the 90s. They consistently go to the World Series, so we wanted to start off strong, so to speak. Came out the first day, we lost 7-6. It was a very good game, well played on both sides. We just kind of fell short. And then in the second game, we got beat 6-0. It was a 2-0 game until the 6th, and then it got away from us. So we didn't really start off particularly well, but then we came out the next day, went down to Connor State down in Warner, Oklahoma, played a team that actually won our district last year to go to the World Series. So we wanted to play a team that we could possibly face in May with a chance to go to the World Series. And, we split that day. We won 16-6 in game one and then got beat 9-8 in the second game. We were actually down 7-4 in the ninth. One of our freshman players, a catcher named Trey Sorrells, came in. He didn't start that game, but came in a pinch hit role and hit a grand slam with 2 outs in the ninth to put us up by a run. And then we just weren't fortunate enough to hold on to the lead in the bottom of the ninth. But, that's baseball. You've been around it long enough. That's going to happen. And then the next day we came out against Eastern Oklahoma, a top 25 team, and came out and won 6-5. So overall, it was a 2-3 weekend. You are what your record says you are, but we're able to play in 3 one-run games, and you can't simulate that in practice or inside of a gym when you're working out.
Yeah, and Eastern Oklahoma at the time was ranked number 19. That may have changed since then, but that's a good win there. So.
Yeah, it was. It was a good win. It was a good weekend for the guys. We were able to get a lot of guys out there on the mound and also in the field, and got our feet wet against some good competition, so it was good.
All right, well, let's talk about the makeup of this year's squad. You have several players returning, but of course there are a lot of new faces, a little more than 20 new freshmen or new players coming in. And I know one of the areas that there are some question marks is the outfield. You have Luke Schlechte returning, he's had a nice start to the young season so far. It looks like he's about 500 average and 2 home runs and 10 RBIs.
Yeah, I'd say he had a good weekend.
Yeah. So he's kind of probably your leader in the outfield there, at least the guy with more experience. What do you see with some of these freshmen coming in, though?
A lot of inexperience. I mean, there's no doubt there's talent. I mean, we feel like we do a good job recruiting, and you're always going to get talent that comes in. It's just unproven. I mean, not to give you coach talk, but I mean, we don't know what they can do yet when the lights get turned on, so to speak. So they look good in practice. They look good in the first weekend, but I mean, time will tell. We'll know here in about 2 months if our freshmen are up to snuff or not.
How about the infield? How's that shaping up? We got Kyle Morris back at second, a good year last year, 321 average, 6 home runs. Third baseman Jordan Coons is back, and then the shortstop Jeremy Patton, he's back after a medical red shirt. So, what do you, with these guys coming back, how does it shape up in the infield?
Well, good question, Matt. I mean, really the only guy who saw significant time last year was Kyle Morris. Patton saw some time early on, but then had to take a medical hardship because of a pulled quad. So he'll be at short, but he really hasn't played in 2 years. And then you've got a couple freshmen over at third with Brandon Gargis and Jordan Coons, and then you're looking at a slew of freshmen or inexperienced sophomores over at first. So I mean, it's going to be a young group up there, and Kyle Morris is going to have to play well, and hopefully the other guys will be able to do the same.
And then catcher, that's another position where you got some young guys. I guess Greg Robinson was your starter the past 2 years, and he's graduated on. So, that obviously an important position in baseball, the catcher, to handle the pitching staff and things of that nature. So another question mark there, I would guess.
I'd say so. We were fortunate enough with Greg, Matt, for 2 years. Here was a guy who came in on, talking about Robinson, he came in on no money. We brought him in as a walk-on per se and kind of said, hey, you're going to be a backup catcher or a third-string catcher. And he said, no problem. And he came in and had the ugliest swing on the team, couldn't throw a lick, and would drop the ball at times. And we're thinking, God's sakes, this isn't going to work. And but he got it done. We threw him out there second game of the year, and he did a great job behind the plate. And we kept him back there for 2 years. And, I mean, you're talking about a guy who won a regional tournament, won 2 conference titles with us, and he did a good job. So it's going to be hard to replace him. But the guys we have coming in, led by Trey Sorrells and Jim Gilkerson, these guys are further along in their skill development than what Robinson was. What Robinson brought to the table was a certain tenacity, and he was a guy that people really got behind, and he was he signified that catcher persona, the tough guy that gets in there and doesn't care how he looks, smells, eats, whatever. He's just going to get back there and he's going to get after it. And he got after it, but so these next guys, they've got more skills, but they're going to have some of that bravado that Robinson had. And if they do, then they're going to do a great job for us.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break here on the Sports Report, and when we come back, we will talk about the pitching staff with head coach Sam Carel of the Jefferson College baseball team.
You may not know their names, but the students who are helped through a Jefferson College Foundation scholarship carry thanks in their hearts. It's for the kindness that our contributors have shown. Make a difference in their tomorrows.
Education, the great equalizer. It doesn't just mean you get more knowledge, it means you improve your quality of life.
Give to the Jefferson College Foundation today.
And we're back here on the Sports Report here on JCTV, visiting with Sam Carel, head baseball coach here at Jefferson College. And let's talk a bit about the pitching staff. You got some guys coming back with some good numbers. You have the lefty Seth Swafford from Hillsborough last year, 7-1, 82 strikeouts in about 51 innings pitched. That's a pretty nice number there. You also have Rob Wart back out of Francis Howell North. He had 7 saves last year. And then right-handed pitcher Travis Hinkey is back. He last year was 6-1 with a 3.98 ERA. So right there, those are some good numbers that jump off the page to me. So.
Yeah, you're right. Travis Hinkey, he's a guy who got to start in Game 4 on the weekend 2 weeks ago and actually threw well. Just had a bad inning on a day that it wasn't a good day to pitch. Wind was blowing straight out. Umpire was kind of squeezing him a little bit. So when you have that combination of the wind blowing out and you got a tight zone, it doesn't bode well for the pitcher. So, but he threw well other than that, other than the 1 inning that he gave up some runs. And Robbie Wirt, he kind of struggled that opening weekend, but here's a guy who had 7 saves, as you mentioned, last year for us, had a couple wins, but also had 2 big saves in the regional tournament for us last year in 1-run affairs with the winning run in scoring position. So he's come through for us in the past, and he's going to be fine. So we're not worried about Robbie Wirt. And then Seth Swafford, he's coming off of surgery right now. He had some scar tissue removed out of his elbow. We'll know more about him here in the next week or 2.
All right. What about Cody Stites? He's back after a medical red shirt. Is he going to play a role this year?
Yeah. In fact, he saw some time 2 weeks ago, opening weekend. Threw 2 innings, threw very well, didn't give up a run. And, here's a guy who got, as I tell a lot of people, he has the biggest save in our program's history since this coaching staff has been there. He got the save out at Maple Woods in the regional tournament, 4-3 game with runners on second and third, and was able to get out of that jam and propel us to the district. So Cody Stites brings a lot of experience, and you're talking about a 21, 22-year-old guy as well. And so, I mean, he's got some maturity that 18-year-old kids just don't possess. So he brings that dynamic to the table as well.
How about some of those 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds, some of the freshmen on the pitching staff? Any guys that have caught your eye so far? Or?
Yeah, Matt Stites, Cody's younger brother. He started Game 1 for us against Cali, and he struggled a bit, but his stuff's very good. Corey Kyle from Stoutland, Missouri, right-handed pitcher. We call him Mr. Reliable. This guy is going to be very steady for us. He doesn't have the explosive stuff that Matt Stites has, but he's in the zone more consistently, and he's able to mix it up, and he's got a bulldog mentality, so we really like Corey Kyle. and then there's a whole slew of others. You got Jordan Coons in relief, who we like a lot, Aaron Jackson, Ryan Wheat's going to see some time, Kyle Marler right now is our only serviceable left-hander from Potosi. He's going to see some time. I'm sure I'm missing a few guys. John Mannion, who threw 6 shutout innings against Eastern Oklahoma, redshirt freshman, didn't top out beyond 83 miles an hour, but he's got a good breaking ball, and he knows how to pitch. He knows what he's doing up there. So you add those guys along with guys like Ethan Yeager, and we like our freshman class. It's just like our position guys. It's unproven, so we'll see what happens.
And some of these guys who will be coming out of your bullpen will be warming up in a new bullpen you all have built
segue
down there. Yeah, great segue, isn't
That's
it?
Right.
I do my work here.
There you go. Good job.
But you guys, the teammates helped put that together down there. So, why was that needed, and what kind of support did you get to get that thing built down there?
Well, we were able, our players were able to go out. We do a fundraising project each fall. And, one of the things that our graduating class, we strive for them to do is to give something back to the program that'll last for a long time. The first group that we had, they went out and raised money to help put in a brand new warning track out in the outfield, something that we hadn't had in, at the time, the 42-year history of the program. Last year, we were able to use the funds that were raised to put some new paint on the walls in our dugout and also to refurbish our indoor facility known as the Hull. We were able to put in 2 brand new nets and paint the walls down there as well to kind of give our indoor training facility a purpose. And then this year's group, they really did a good job of raising some funds and went out, and we identified that, hey, the bullpen is something that we need to address, especially since the first 2 years, the stuff that we addressed primarily benefited the position players. We wanted to address something that's going to benefit the pitchers directly. So they went out, raised the funds for it, and were able to install a brand new bullpen down the left field line. So it actually changes the dynamic of our park, Matt. Before we had tremendous foul territory between the left field foul line and the left field wall, and now we've taken up, I'd say, 85% of that space. We put in a 4-foot fence, and within that fence, within that facility, we have 2 mounds, and we store all of our equipment in there. So it definitely changes the landscape of our facility, of our playing field, and we're excited about it. Eager to see how it all works out.
Okay. Well, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back on the Sports Report. We'll talk a little recruiting with Sam, and we'll address a few other topics too. We'll be right back.
The fine arts programs here at Jefferson College just are being recognized all over the state because of the quality of education that the students receive and because of the faculty that's involved with the programs. Jefferson College also has opportunity to give our students more of a scope of experiences through the concert band, the jazz band, the choral performances, great theory program. Our students are doing very well over the last couple years, going to the 4-year programs, being able to transfer, and then going on to become teachers, performers. We have students involved with programs in Branson, throughout the Midwest. Jefferson College, I think, is one of the best programs going in the state of Missouri.
And we're right back here on the Sports Report on JCTV with Sam Carel, head baseball coach here at Jeffco. And I guess let's talk a little bit about recruiting. When I look through the roster, I see some folks from Oklahoma, from Texas, not just from the state of Missouri, all around this Midwest region. Mm-hmm. So how do you convince a player to come here from another state, 10, 15 hours away in some cases?
I think it's a great question. I think the short of it, without going on and on, is the atmosphere. I mean, recruiting, you could say it's an art. I don't know if it's necessarily an art, but I think we do a pretty good job here at this institution as a whole of showing people what we got. We say, yeah, you go out and you sell it, but this is really not a sales job. When people come in here, they know the genuine article. They know if the place is going to be a good fit for them. They know when they come in here, are they going to be, are they going to get the academics that they need to get, which obviously they do here. Jason Gardner does a great job. Is the social environment going to be conducive to their growth, which it is over here at Viking Woods and the apartments? And then third, is the baseball side going to be a situation where they feel comfortable coming into? And that entails a couple things as well. When guys are trying to choose an institution, this is what I tell guys, when we recruit them and then when people call me for advice. players want three things. They want the opportunity to play, which when you come to the junior college level, you're going to have that opportunity to play, or come to the two-year institutional level. They want an opportunity to get better and move on to their next level, which we have a track record of providing that. And then third, they want an opportunity to compete for championships. And, our sport, along with the 4 other sports here at the institution, give those players that opportunity. So you have an opportunity to play, you have an opportunity to move on to your next level, and you have an opportunity to compete for championships. I mean, at the end of the day, I really believe that's what players want. And, our program believes in that. And when we go out and we identify guys that we want, regardless of where they're from, we've got 7 guys here that are from the county that are on the roster in some capacity. And then we have, like you said, all the guys that are from Illinois, throughout the state of Missouri, from Oklahoma and Texas. When you bring them in here, you show them what you got, then they make the decision. But, we feel like we've got a pretty good product here. And so that's why we're able to get them in.
And as far as the chance to move on to another program, I mean, the numbers just back that up. In the last 3 years, Jeffco Baseball sent 33 players to continue their playing time at other 4-year institutions. 17 of them went on to Division I level schools. So, I mean, that right there has got to be, a positive recruiting tool to tell, people who may be interested.
Sure, and I mean, you add to the fact that you had a couple guys drafted out of here as well in the last couple years. The proof is in the pudding, to use a cliche. All right, I mean, people know, and people are going to do their homework, especially with the way information is accessible to everyone now with the internet and with cellular phones and people being able to call everyone to do research on certain institutions. I mean, you can't pull the wool over their eyes, so to speak. I know I'm giving out some cliches, but people know, hey, if they come here, they're going to win and they're going to be able to move on to the next level. And at the end of the day, that's what players want, and we go out and identify those players that want to win and move on to the next level, because those guys come in essentially with a chip on their shoulder. They know what they want to get done. There's a business-like attitude to what we're trying to accomplish, and they get their work done, they move on. We want guys who handle their own business, and we try to identify as many guys as possible that are man enough to go out and get the job done.
And already some of your players on this year's squad have committed to other schools. You got Aaron Claycamp going to Central Missouri State in the future. We talked about Schlechte, Coastal Carolina University for him. Patton committed to Florida International University. So it's got to, and Rob Ward committing to Missouri State. So it's got to be exciting for them to.
Sure. It's very exciting for them. And then, you had Matt Stuckmeyer, who's going to University of Missouri at Rolla. I guess it's Missouri S&T now. And then Travis Hinkey, who's going to Arkansas Little Rock. I mean, we've got 7 guys right off the bat that have committed to the next level. And, we're without a doubt, we're excited about that. But that's why those guys came in here. They came in here to get their start at Jeffco. We do not recruit individuals that say Jefferson College is the end game. Okay, we don't want that. This is a means to further their education and obviously to further their development. So we want guys who come in here and have an understanding of, okay, I'm coming in here to move on to the next level. I'm not here to play baseball. I'm here to get better at baseball. I'm here to get better at my academics. I'm not just here to go to class and to play. I'm here with the mindset of coming in, getting my academics done, and improving my game, whether it's a strength development, a skill development issue, a playing time issue, or a health issue. I'm here to work on those issues and then move on to the next level.
All right. Well, we'll take another quick break, and then we'll be right back with some final thoughts with Sam Carel, Jeffco's head baseball coach.
It's like going to Harvard in Jefferson County.
Students have the best education possible.
Top-notch education.
Quality education is a 10.
I love the fact that Jefferson College is so close to my home.
It's great. I love it. It works for my schedule.
The housing is incredibly convenient.
Class schedules are very convenient for students.
I'm Stacy Self.
I'm Kimberly Clark.
I'm Nick Schaefer.
I'm Della Selman, and I discovered my future at Jefferson College.
And we're back here on the Sports Report on JCTV, visiting with Sam Carel, the head coach here of the baseball team at Jefferson College. And I guess just to wrap things up, you all have a trip coming up to Phoenix, Arizona. So let's preview that. I'm sure that'll be exciting for the players.
Yeah. Each year, Matt, we try to take some type of spring trip that's 100%, fundraised for. We don't use any of the institution's money. We go out and our players and coaching staff go out and raise the funds ourselves. We feel like every 2 years or every 3 years we like to take a big trip somewhere where we're going to get on a jet and go somewhere. Some of these guys have never been on a plane before, so it's kind of a lifetime experience for them also. But this was the year that we're able to go down to Phoenix. We're going to go down and play some quality teams. We're going to be down in the atmosphere of Major League Baseball spring training, so that's going to be going on all around us. And we're really excited about going down there and playing some quality teams and being in an environment that hopefully some of our guys will really like and try to achieve to get to down the road with Major League Baseball.
And the season, as we've mentioned, is just getting underway. So I guess if you kind of just want to give us some final thoughts on the season, again, we kind of talked about this earlier, but what you think would make it a successful year for the Vikings?
Championships.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
Hope that helps you.
Well, you talked about getting 40 wins for.
Yeah, we want to win. We want to win the regional, want to win the district, want to get to Colorado. I mean, if we do that with 28 wins or 40 wins, yeah, I mean, we want to win championships. That's what success is about, winning championships and making sure our guys are able to move on to the next level. We can do that, we'll be fine.
And with some of the younger guys, I mean, what do you think your chances are, as far as getting near those goals?
We think we got a good shot every year. We'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, Sam, Carel, thanks so much for coming in to the JCTV studios and talking with us on the Sports Report. And that will do it. Thanks a lot for watching.